Hello, my name is Host Eric. I'm the host Talking with Famous People, and I'm here today to talk about Enid F. Patterson's Freakout. Yeah, she freaked out. She wouldn't appreciate being described as having freaked out, says Karth. Well, maybe she shouldn't freak out then. Right? If you don't want to be described as freaking out, then don't freak out. Otherwise, that's how I'm going to describe you. Why would I think about whether or not somebody would want to be described as having been freaking out if I've already concluded that that's the accurate description of the situation? It doesn't matter what she wants to be described as. It matters whether the description is accurate. Now, if you were saying, don't say she freaked out because she didn't freak out, then that would be a different matter entirely. Then you'd have a good cause to say, Eric, don't say she freaked out. That's not fair. She didn't freak out. Freaking out would look more like this. And she only spazzed out. That's not the case, though. She did freak out. Enid F. Patterson? The funny thing about this whole thing is, that video that I made, in which I said, "Okay, I've taken this down," and Enid freaked out. I watched it. I was just stunned by how gentle and kind I was. I mean, I was so gentle and kind in that video, and so above and beyond the Call of Duty in terms of taking on accountability onto myself for what I could find that was legitimate, you know? And that video I put up there got 3 thumbs down and a bunch of adversarial comments, as though I didn't already concede any reasonable point that they had, which I did. Look, here's the thing, people. When I made that video, I was aware when I was making it that I wanted to have established on the flow only the correct points. So that's what I did. Your things aren't responsive. None of your comments are responsive to me. Let's go down them. Alright. So, Karth says, I think they said in that message they were not comfortable being out in the open with regard to whatever it was that was being discussed. Whether or not emotions as a cause for privacy is considered logically legitimate or not, I'm not trying to deny her privacy in any sense of the word. I've already conceded that point. I've already conceded that I accept and will fulfill my social obligation regarding, not just social obligation, but my basic prioritization of reciprocity. That I don't mind facilitating another in their wrongness when it's purely personal in that fashion. Like, well, her wrongness is that she doesn't want that message that was sent to me shared to people. Okay, well, that's fine. Of course, I will, in the principles of reciprocity, indulge her in her wrongness. But don't make any fucking mistakes, people. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm indulging her in her wrongness. We can, yes, if I were disputing that I should have to take it down, then she would have good points. Lots of good points. And she'd win that argument. That's why I'm not disputing that. Now the topic is privacy is bad. And none of those points were addressed at all by anybody in the comments. It's all about, well, you know, Enid's feelings or something. Or expectations, yada, yada, yada. Okay, like I said, I concede all the points where you're right. Now let's talk about much, much, much more important point, which is how privacy is totally fucked up and needs to be destroyed entirely. So it's like, basically, Enid's walking around, she's got a cancer on her. Sitting right here. I come up and I lop off part of that cancer. She gets really upset at me because it hurts a little bit. She doesn't realize she's carrying around cancer. It's called fear. you're either doing something wrong, in which case stop doing it. That's not Enid. She's not doing anything wrong. Or you're not doing anything wrong, in which case you have no need, no reason to hide. And to the extent that you agree to hide, you empower those who want you to hide, and you enable them to make other people hide too. Well, no one's going to make me hide. They can all fucking suck my dick if they don't like what I'm doing. Right? Unless I'm doing something wrong, in which case I need to check myself. Now, in this instance, I was doing something wrong, to the extent that I allowed that video to persist up there once I discovered that she didn't like it up there. But that didn't happen for even 1 second, because by the time I found out about it, Zach had already taken it down. And I was happy that it occurred. I wasn't trying to, I didn't want to leave it up as long as I could or something like that. Not even remotely. Now, on to the bigger battle. Are you on the side of good or evil? If you're on the side of evil, then continue making pro-privacy arguments. Understand that you're saying, let's deny everybody information based on my whim. Right? Yeah, privacy is bad. Privacy is bad. Privacy is not a right. It's an expectation you can have based on property rights. It's a social courtesy that I'm affording Enid. She has no right to privacy here. She has an expectation of privacy. I mean, once you send somebody an email or a private message, it's no longer your property. It doesn't matter whether you write on your email, sent confidentially or not. Okay, well, you sent it confidentially, but I didn't receive it confidentially. Right? Look, it's not like I'm a fucking psychiatrist or something. And you're telling me your problems, and I'm revealing it to a third party. You're revealing me your personal problems, I'm revealing it to a third party. You're telling me about my personal problems, and I'm talking about that to a third party. You didn't tell me anything private. You didn't say, and then one time my ADHD was so bad that it made me get drunk and have sex with a random dude in the alley. And I feel so much shame about that. Okay, if you were telling me shit like that, then obviously I'd have matter of, it would be a much more concerning matter. My behavior would be vastly more concerning, right? If you were telling me shit like that. You weren't. You were telling me poetic expressions of what it's like in the abstract for a person to have ADHD. You mentioned that you had it, and that you had said that publicly on your fucking channel. And you still think that the expectation of privacy ought to trump the benefits of public discourse, which is insane. It's insane, and it shows me that, like, oh, you've internalized some big lies. We gotta help you because you don't know how to use your fucking middle fingers. There's no reason to hide any of this shit. Anybody who wants to come roll up on me about it, go ahead. Let's see how well you fare. You get one of these little meow, meow, meow speeches is what you're gonna get. Thanks for watching Tech with People.